So what if I'm brand new and I want to get into campus ministry? What are some of the things that I should be aware of, or how do I go about doing that?
You want to come on staff with me? That's awesome.
I got a bit of time on my hands, let me tell you. And welcome to Going Home. I'm Craig Young, and we're going to be looking at people, families, ministries, churches, and seeing where God is moving through His people.
She always felt like there was something more than just a nice Christian life.
The yellow ring, it says it all, really. It says it all.
Some lunch.
Some cheese.
Something that we talk about with the students a lot is getting into each other's lives and getting messy with each other. And stepping back from or away from the individualistic idea that we just hang out once a week at our weekly gatherings or maybe at church, but actually like getting into each other's lives, caring about the things that each other cares about.
Right. We need to have something to say that's relevant to the discussion of our day from a faith-based perspective and biblical worldview.
Hey there and welcome. This is Going Home. I'm sitting here with Jill and Matt and Jasper Church. This is the churches. It's a cool thing. Churches and ministry, can't go wrong with that. So tell us, how did you get in ministry? Who are you working with? What is it all about?
Well, we started working with InterVarsity Christian Fellowship in Edmonton 3 years ago and moved here a year and a few months ago to work with InterVarsity at UVic with a colleague of ours, Krista Smith.
So, InterVarsity, tell me a little bit, what is that all about?
InterVarsity Christian Fellowship is the full name, and it's actually worldwide, around the world, through IFES, International Fellowship of Evangelical Students.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you need those in acronyms because it's just, there's too many words there.
InterVarsity's full of them.
Yes, there's many.
Yeah, InterVarsity is all about connecting with students in university and graduate students. They also have a camps aspect and connecting with high school students. All about helping students become fully committed followers of Jesus Christ in all of their ethnic diversity and becoming leaders for amongst their generation for the kingdom of God.
What does community look like at InterVarsity?
Something that we talk about with the students a lot is getting into each other's lives and getting messy with each other. And stepping back from or away from the individualistic idea that we just hang out once a week at our weekly gatherings or maybe at church, but actually like getting into each other's lives, caring about the things that each other cares about, and getting into the real things of life with each other. So for us, that's a real challenge to us. If we're going to challenge our students to do that, it means we have to be doing that with them and being vulnerable with them about our brokenness and messiness.
So yeah, is it about sharing then? Is that where the invitation is? Is it being real? What are some of the ways that you can create an authentic community?
So some tangible places that happens are in small groups. There's quite a few small groups centered around scripture studies. So there are a lot of that sharing happens within those small groups. And then larger group events that we do as well that are, you know, a broad invite to everyone as well. We also partner with Emmanuel Baptist Church. On Tuesdays they have student dinners. So we're there helping, serving, and meeting with students there, and that's upwards of about 400 to 500 students every week. So
that's a big lunch.
Yeah, it's a big lunch.
Excellent. So life has changed over the last year, well, less than a year. And how has that changed ministry, being a family with a little one?
It's been a wonderful, Jasper has been a wonderful addition in life with students. As students, I don't think you get to be around babies that much, and so we've had a lot of students just love on Jasper, and we are amply supplied with many people to babysit for us.
That's awesome.
It has made it a bit of a challenge in you know, wanting to really invest in a family and a family unit, but also being open with our family, inviting people into that. So there is, you know, we've been working it.
Yeah, it's different now, right? It's you know, when you're inviting people to come over to your home, I know, just being a father and stuff like that, you're like, okay, you know, I have a child here, I'm responsible, I gotta be conscious of this.
There's stinky diapers in the corner. Oh no!
Exactly.
No students have volunteered to do those, by the way.
So, what if I'm brand new and I want to get into campus ministry? What are some of the things that I should be aware of, or how do I go about doing that?
You want to come on staff with me? That's awesome.
I got a bit of time on my hands, let me tell you. No, but you know, what are some of the things that I have to that I do to go about doing that?
Well, I think entering any new world, sphere of ministry or communities, understanding the context. So a huge challenge for us, a huge place that we're seeking to always understand is how do we communicate the gospel into this generation in a way that is relevant to them, that they understand. So I think one part is just opening your ears to listen. What is our generation saying? What is pop culture about? What are people listening to today? Trying to understand how the gospel can have traction and relevancy in the midst of that world.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing, it's all about taking the gospel and being able to communicate it in a relevant way to the community.
Yeah.
I guess, like, being in a university, you're really challenged with questioning and being able to find reason and answers, and it's almost like with having a relationship with God and everything, a lot of that is trust and being okay with the unknown. And so how do you go into a challenging discussion based on the unknown? It's almost better to just, okay, don't say anything. I don't want, I don't want to talk about my Christian faith.
Yeah, I think a huge part of that is helping students grow an intellectualism in their faith, understanding what are the arguments out there, what are the discussions out there in our postmodern era, and coming to understand how do we enter meaningful into conversations like that.
Right. We
need to have something to say that's relevant to the discussion of our day from a faith-based perspective and biblical worldview.
I guess rather than the Sunday school where it's just like, oh, well, everything, God said it, it's in the Bible, what's the answer? Jesus.
That's right. Yeah, that's true. A lot of what we feel like our job is as InterVarsity staff is helping students ask good questions and really developing good critical thought about their faith. Yeah, that's a big part of it.
I would imagine, working with InterVarsity and with students, you have a lot of stories. Could you share some of those stories?
Sure. One story that comes to mind is a student who, she was kind of on the peripheral scene of InterVarsity her first year as a student, but she shared later that growing up she'd always been a follower of Jesus, raised in a Christian home, but she always felt like there was something more than just a nice Christian life, and she received an invitation from an InterVarsity staff worker to do a 2-week long, sorry, I guess it's a month-long urban plunge in the downtown east side of Vancouver, where where they lived in community for a month and partnered with a bunch of the social agencies down there, did a bunch of scripture studies around justice and God's heart for justice. And that totally radically shifted her her experience of God and her idea of what it meant to be a follower of Jesus. And so since she's become a really integral part of the leadership team at UVic, she's leading up a partnership between InterVarsity students and the Mustard Seed. And is helping to lead a Bible study around creative world justice that happens out of her house, and all sorts of different things. So it's been really cool to just watch her blossom, just seeing the possibilities of what God could do and what she could partner with God in this world. So that's been fun.
Yeah, one that comes to mind is around Art Cafe. So Art Cafe has been an initiative we've done over the past few years now, and it is finding, like I was talking about earlier, trying to find a contextualized way of sharing the gospel. And so we have a gathering that we invite artists to come and create art around a theme. So we've had community and justice, we've had consumerism, what was the one last year?
Bursting your bubble.
Oh yeah,
stepping
out your comfort zone. How could I forget?
I thought you were just commenting and bursting your bubble. Don't really.
That's what it was called. So these are places that we invite artists from the community and from the inner city, from around to a place of dialogue through their art.
Wow.
And as our contribution too, we have a running dialogue throughout the night about something that relates to the gospel and that area. So it's been a really neat place to invite our friends to have quite a myriad of people from all different faith perspectives in a place sharing and hearing about Jesus and their own thoughts around those themes.
Yeah.
So that's been a really encouraging way to see students that we've been working with planning for that. Last year we had a couple of students play a trombone and bass duet to Lovers in a Dangerous Time.
Oh!
So,
my particular favorite.
And everything.
So it's been
Lovers in a dangerous time.
Well, maybe we'll ask you to come next time.
Okay, so we've heard from the church family, we've heard about InterVarsity, and they shared just how God's using them. That brings us to the end of this interview, but I have one last question, Jasper. It's true. Where are you going?
I'm going home.